right. We are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Hot damn, what a show. That's right, Blood Rain. Hot damn. That was a show. That was a show and a half. Get out the notes. Get all my stuff set here. Make sure this is quiet. All right. Plug this puppy in as we're setting up. We don't want that dying. All right. Impact Wrestling Rebellion. Very interesting show. Overall, I gotta say right off the bat, I did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. Jackson Parker's in the chat. What is up? Good pay-per-view. Yeah, I would say it's a very good pay-per-view. It wasn't a perfect pay-per-view. I mean, there are no, well, it's a matter of opinion. There are very few pay-per-views, that come off as perfect. But this was very good. All the advertised matches came off very well. And we even got some surprises. Jackson says, best pay-per-view of Impact this year. I'd have to go back and look at the other one. I don't remember exactly who was all on it. This is the second one, I believe. Michael Cheney's in the chat. What is up? Great pay-per-view. Blood Rain's pay-per-view of the year so far overall. Right? Interesting. Homecoming. Oh, yeah, Homecoming. That's right. That was in January. That was down in down south. And thank you for reminding me. Nashville. Okay. Tennessee. Everyone, Nashville. All right. Love my chatters. They make me look so good. No, I'm kidding. You guys help me, and I appreciate it. Because I watch so much wrestling, it's like, you forget stuff, You absorb so much. Duke Togo is in the chat. What is up? Haven't seen you in a while. Spectacular show. Thank you, Gail, Kim, and Lucha Bros. Yeah, they were tremendous. Absolutely. Did you do Impact Wrestling Rebellion predictions? Yes, I did. I did them at the tail end of my review, like real quick. I was in such a hurry Friday night, and I hate rushing that kind of stuff. But yes. Did I get that one right? Yes, I did. And my predictions for the advertised matches, I was actually 5 out of 6. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it was predictable. I don't think it was, because you really never know. You can assume all you want, but you really never know. And we're getting some more chat going on here. Critical Sting. My God, they done it again. Yes, they did. You should do a moderator tournament. What? I'm not that good. I do my own shtick. No, I don't think I would do very good in that. I could do good as far as the, oh my God, did you see that? Okay, but half the moves I'd be like, what is that move again? I would fail in that. Blood Rain, you went 3 out of 6. Hey, that's all right. That happens. Good luck picking a favorite match. Yeah, you know what? There were matches that surprised me with how good they came off. Honestly. But hey, let's jump into this. Number one, I want to talk about oops, that was my Impact regular reviews. I was top of the list said Eli Drake. No, wait, that's not. We are going to talk about him though, because his name popped up on social media today. Very interesting. Let's talk about that for a second, okay? You know what? Let's bring up the tweet real quick on here because I don't want to misquote him. And while I find this, I'd be curious, and I'd be really curious as to see what the attendance was for this. Okay, so he tweeted out yesterday a picture of a flight thing, whatever. He was flying Los Angeles to Toronto with a dot dot dot. And then he tweeted later at what time is there? Okay. One was at 7 a.m. The other was the ain't going nowhere. He's taking over was at 6 p.m. So, and that was basically, he put out a highlight reel from stuff at Impact Wrestling. So, ain't going nowhere. He's taking over in quotes. That tells me that he worked out stuff with Impact Wrestling. They squashed whatever stuff there was. And I'm not going to overthink it because, like I said in my last video, people sit there and they read stuff on the internet and they assume they know absolutely everything that goes in the mind, everything that goes on behind the scenes. No, you guys don't know shit. Quit pretending you know every goddamn thing that goes on out there. Because I know I don't. Okay? I don't come on here. I don't go on social media. Well, this happened. So this is exactly what's going on to the T. No, you don't know shit. Shut the hell up. We can assume all we want from these tweets. It looks like he's staying with Impact Wrestling. The fact that he made a trip to Canada and then 12 hours later posted the "we ain't going nowhere" with a highlight reel from Impact Wrestling. We'll have to see. So, I don't think he would post anything about Impact Wrestling if he's granted, that's where he was the last couple of years. So if he is going to pull highlights, that's where he'd pull them from, you'd think. We'll see what happens. Catch up on the chat real quick before we dive into this. You guys are talking about the Johnny Cage and Brian Cage and Johnny stuff. Yeah, that's the only match that I would be critical of in this whole thing. The whole thing just felt really off. I don't know. And look, these are two of my favorite guys. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they fucked up. No, look, Brian Cage has been banged up in the past. We saw the marks on his back, which looks like he had some kind of treatment, and I'm not real. They they talked about it during the show. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. The round marks on his shoulder that were in a circle. So, and that's usually for like muscle treatment or muscle soreness or something, all along the physical therapy massage kind of thing. And his leg was still wrapped. He still had something on his leg. Um, so, I went into this wanting Cage to win, but I also know he's been really banged up in the past. So don't get me wrong. I'm happy Brian Cage won. Okay. I'm very happy Brian Cage won. I also saw um cupping spots. That's what it's called. Cupping. Thank you, Critical Sting. I couldn't think of what they called it. I didn't know if that was like a hot stone thing or I had no idea what they call that. I also saw a very interesting picture on the on Twitter from um, Johnny Impact's dog, Prince Priestley. I think that's what he calls his dog. And it was a picture of Johnny Impact with Christopher Daniels and was it Nick Jackson? One of the young bucks. I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the young bucks. And I was like, that's interesting. I have no clue where it was. It's a picture of some people together. I don't want to overthink it, but obviously pictures like that get people talking. Like we're talking about this now. Some people would be for something like this happening, like as in a partnership or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if Johnny's signed to a contract. I don't know if AEW is interested in him. It could have been just a picture of people together. So, whatever it meant, it gets people talking. But I don't see a lot of people talking about this. But then again, usually I don't see a lot of people talking about Impact unless people are just, throwing it out the window. But we don't do that here. We talk positively as much as we can about Impact Wrestling. So I was even brainstorming to the point that I thought maybe the Young Bucks were going to show up tonight and fuck up the match for the Lucha Brothers because they follow them around and such. That's kind of what I thought. Maybe I thought maybe that was, but I didn't want to say that on here on my predictions and then sound like a jackass, but I'll just throw that out there now as in, hey, it was in the back of my head. I wasn't assuming that was going to happen, but I thought it'd be kind of cool. Some people like the thought of Impact working together with a company like AEW. Some absolutely despise AEW. And I understand if you're not on board with AEW or you're just not into the guys and so you're not going to follow them. I get that, but I don't understand the hate. The hate is, I feel, is very unnecessary. They haven't even had their first show yet, but whatever. Let's not discuss that now. I've said that before, but whatever. Okay, let's talk about some Impact Rebellion. Great card. Some surprises. In fact, this first match was a nice surprise. I got to say that. Duke Togo, you are correct. Haters will go to great lengths to convince themselves that Impact's still bad. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, it's because they have absolutely no clue what's going on. All they got to do is watch and see that it's the most consistent thing on TV in the last year and a half, 2 years. Period. End of subject. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact. Storylines, tremendous wrestling, fun stuff, a little bit of hardcore, everything under the sun. That's consistency. And that's what they've done. That's a fact. Whether you like it or not is an opinion, but what I said is a fact. And we only just talk facts on here on Smash This Podcast, by the way. We don't talk about ever crap on shows that I don't watch. Heck, I rarely crap on things I do watch. Yeah, like that'd be like me crapping on Ring of Honor. I don't watch it a lot. I watch some of the bigger shows here and there, but I'm not going to crap it because I don't watch it. Crap on it. He crapped the whole show. Demon Rocks, what is up? Keeping Tessa heel now would be stupid. Let's talk about that for a minute. I would say that one of the best matches of the evening was Tessa and Gail Kim. Gail Kim, holy crap, that woman can still go. She didn't look like she missed a step with Tessa Blanchard. I mean, she took everything and gave it back to Tessa. They had a very emotional Gail Kim aged in reverse, right? She's like a fine wine. She gets better with time. She had a very, I don't know if you caught it. She had a very emotional moment with Tessa. And this was, let's be honest, this wasn't just this wasn't advertised as can Gail Kim still work? You know, this wasn't advertised like that. This was, can Tessa beat one of the best from Impact Wrestling's past? So she had a mountain to climb with this, okay? So, and the psychology and everything leading up to this, I felt was good too. And, you know, and there were people out there. I wasn't in this group, but there were people out there that were like, well, does Gail Kim still have an ego? She is, and always will be, some kind of professional wrestler. Will she pass the torch to Tessa? And in a sense, I feel like that's what she did tonight. Some felt like Gail Kim was going to use her corporate or backstage muscle and not lose to Tessa. I don't think that would do anything for anyone. It wouldn't help Gail Kim, and it certainly wouldn't help Tessa. This was, in a sense, depending on how you look at it, you could say a passing of the torch, and that's why the end of the match was so emotional for those two in the ring. Tessa, you know, shed some tears. They did a close up on that. We saw that, and there's no there's nothing wrong with those two having an absolutely tremendous match and getting a little emotional at the end because you knew you brought the house down. I know I was honestly a little more excited for this one than the Taya Jordan Grace one. And that's not a knock. Just reading some of the chats here. Who is Tessa's next feud gonna feud with now? I don't know. I mean, she was advertised for a show for AAA. So maybe Tessa and Taya are going to go at it again. I don't know. Hard to say. Paul Nelson's in the chat. Eugene Evans, what is up? Eugene says, I see Tessa versus Taya versus Jordan at Slammiversary. Yeah, I mean that's a few months from now. Anything can happen. They could even bring in some new faces. Who knows? She owes Madison huge. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure Tessa's gonna beat her sometime soon. Cause she'll, she's she had that chip on her shoulder. She knocked it off. Now she can just plow through everyone and anyone. I'm sure Tessa by the end of the year will be knockouts champ again, one way or another. Have absolutely no doubt. Um, so I'm very happy Tessa came off with a win here. Really, oh man, I don't know what the hell you call that move where she just took her and she just basically threw her from the stage down to the floor. That was sick. That was really something else. And let's talk, as long as we're talking about the women, let's talk about the women some more. Let's talk about the Knockouts Championship match. Taya Valkyrie versus Jordan defending. Yeah, I felt like it's too soon for Jordan. I have absolutely no doubt that she will be Impact knockouts champ someday. But those two kicked the crap out of each other too. And very happy with the women's wrestling tonight. We did not get any weird kind of backstage stuff with Rosemary. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. I kind of thought we would, but that's okay. We don't have to have the undead realm all the time. Maybe save it for TV and some special events or something. Listening to this podcast in the shower, but I don't think you saw my question. Did you buy the pay-per-view? Yes, I actually did buy the pay-per-view. I try to buy these when I can. I can't always. But J-Bone might be going back to work soon, so we're crossing our fingers to get that phone call. So, kind of hoping, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to get charged for this pay-per-view for another 1 or 2 months. So, hopefully by then, that'll happen. Hey, that's all right, Jackson. That's all right. Not everybody can afford a $40 pay-per-view. I can't really either right now, but we're hoping. Like I said, we're hoping. So yeah, the women kicked ass tonight. No Undead Realm stuff, but I'm sure that'll pick up in the next couple weeks. The stuff with Rosemary, we'll see something soon. Oh, let's talk about that first match of the night, the 6-man scrambler. Do you watch pay-per-views live and free? Some of them. Some of them. Okay. So we had Petey Williams. He got a nice way to start off the show. Someone local, someone Canadian. Petey Williams, Jake Christ, Aiden Prince on there again. Very cool to see him. I got to wonder if maybe they're going to keep him around. We'll see. If not, they can always bring him back for Canadian shows every couple months or whatever they are up there. Ace Austin, Jake, Diener. They call him Cousin Jake. They're the Dieners. I call him Jake Diener. Whatever. And Eddie Edwards. So it was cool to get Eddie Edwards involved in this show, and you also had a big guy like Jake Diener on this show, or Jake something. So you had a little bit of everything. You had some X Division, you had some hardcore. I don't know exactly what style Jake something is yet, or Jake Diener. We're still learning about him, if if this is your introduction to him, but he kicked ass tonight. Everybody did a tremendous job in this match. Ace Austin coming off with a win here. I don't know if they said that there was anything in particular that the winner of this match was going to lead to. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Critical Sting says Fulton versus cousin Jake. Damn. That'd be something I'd like to see. That'd be cool. Seeing Taylor Wilde there was nice. Taylor Wilde. Okay. That is Hoss alert. That's a name we haven't heard in a long time. Where was Taylor Wilde in this? We haven't heard that name in a long time. Was she one of the girls that came out at the end? I thought the one was Scarlett Bordeaux, and then I thought I saw another one, and I thought it was Eddie's wife, but I don't think it was Eddie's wife. Was that her that came out at the very end when everyone was kind of filing into the ring? Yes, and she was also backstage. Well, if she came from backstage out to the ring, that means she was backstage. I'm kidding. But okay. So, well, that's interesting. Maybe she's going to wrestle again. I don't know. There's pics of her backstage. Oh, okay. Some people took pictures with her, or some of the wrestlers. Well, that'd be interesting. Maybe she's just visiting. But the fact that she came out at the end, I thought she retired. I didn't really hear much about her. We haven't seen her in Impact in, oh gosh, how long has it been? The Knockouts division is a little over 10 years old, I want to say now. I think. Was it 2008 it started? That's a guess. About 10 years old, yeah. So I'm guessing it was like 5-ish years ago she was. I don't remember. Well, we're getting some viewers in here. Awesome. 2007? Could be. I don't remember. And that's when things were really crazy back then. Super good, too. So while you're watching this, if you're digging the content, if you're new here, don't forget to smash that like button and smash that sub button and ring that bell for notifications too. So yeah, Ace Austin comes off with a tremendous win here. We'll have to see what's next for him. The fact that he won this, I think really says something. Let's see. Roy, this one was made very, very last minute. This was advertised today, I believe, because I wasn't on social media much today. Rohit Raju in an intergender match with Scarlett Bordeaux. This was a lot of fun. I'm kind of wondering how long they're going to keep doing this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed this, okay? And I get that they're keeping Scarlett Bordeaux separate from the rest of the knockouts for a while, but it's been a while now. And like I said, I appreciate the intergender stuff. Some of it's fun, some of it's funny, but I want to see Scarlett Bordeaux kick some knockout ass now. So, as much as I do enjoy her with Fala, I want to see, I want to see her against Jordan. I want to see her against Taya. I want to see her against Tessa or or Rosemary or hell, Sue Young, whoever, I want to see more. So um I'm not gonna be like, okay, that's enough of this, intergender stuff. I don't. That's okay. It's something different. Some people dig it. Some people don't. Obviously, Eli Drake doesn't. Uh, but this was okay. And Scarlett Bordeaux came out with a win here. And the only other constructive criticism I would say about this is I I like the Daisy Hit Squad. Okay, and I really want to see them taken more seriously. There's no reason why they shouldn't be. I dig the comedy and I understand sometimes you got to throw a little comedy in there and I'm okay with that. But if all you're known as a comedy act, it I think in some ways lessens your value, you know? Like, and I've said this before. I want to see more of the Daisy Hit Squad against guys like LAX and Lucha Brothers and the Deaners and stuff. I want to see legit tag matches with these guys, and I want to see them win some too. You can't lose all the time. These guys are just losing like crazy. Um, you know, I did not assume this is how they were going to be treated week after week when they were brought into this brand, and I'd like to see a little change for them, but that's me, you know. So I'm still hoping because I want to see, and even want to see stuff like Raj Singh break out as a single guy. The guy looks like he's pretty, he's certainly bigger than Rohit Raju. And he did some stuff in the X division here and there, I think, within the last couple of years. But I want to see a guy like Raj Singh break out and have some decent singles matches too. I would love to see that. Let's go back to the chat for a second. Mike from New Japan is jacked. Yeah. Let's, and I didn't touch it because we did talk a little bit about Johnny Impact versus Brian Cage. We did not talk about the debut of Big Michael Elgin. In my opinion, yeah, okay, what is your take on the Michael Elgin signing? I know that there was some kind of controversial thing that he was dealing with within the last couple of years with his own local promotion. I think it was House of Glory. Don't quote me on that. It was, and something happened with some girl. I don't remember all the details, and I know I don't even know all the details. So I'm not going to assume anything. Um, no Eli Drake tonight. We'll have to wait. And something happened with Michael Elgin, some female worker, and someone else. And because I put it out there on Twitter, I was like, "Hey, Michael Elgin's an Impact, yay!" And I mean, I like the guy. I always loved him in Ring of Honor, and I don't watch a lot of New Japan stuff, so I didn't. I saw some of his stuff, but obviously not all of it. And Don Callis said something to the effect of, he said something like that's why he left New Japan because he wants to be a champ here or something like that. So that makes it sound like New Japan wasn't ever going to give him a chance to be champion. That sounds kind of crappy, but Glory Pro, maybe that was it. Could be. I don't know what it was. But whatever was going on with him, and he was running an independent company, and he turned it over to someone else because he was dealing with some controversial stuff. He went off to Japan for a while. Now he's back. So let's see. I all I can say is obviously whatever's going on with him, if he did something illegal, it would have been dealt with already. So I'm erring on the side of, look, if he was guilty, then he'd be guilty. Let's consider this a fresh start for him and let's see what he does. I'm excited about it. I hope you are too. Wasn't he in I think you tried to spell Nexus. No, he wasn't in Nexus. That was that Southern boy, Ryback. Similar builds, different height. What the hell was Ryback called in Nexus? So it was some big dumb country name. It was hilarious. I can't remember, but anyways, Skip Sheffield, thank you. See, chat coming up with the win again. I like the signing. Impact is really bringing in a lot of talent. Yeah. By the way, Elgin's wife was a great wrestler. Check her out. Mischief. That's oh yeah, I've seen her wrestle. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Did she retire? I don't think I've seen her name anywhere. She's from what I heard, she's older than him. Like 10 years? It's not an extreme number, but it is significant. Impact Wrestling, home of the Hosses. Actually, it's not. I mean, they've got a few, but it's I think they got more smaller guys now than anything. I don't like the RVD signing though. RVD has nothing to offer. Well, let's wait on that opinion until we see him over the course of the next few months. Okay? If he's not one of your favorites and you're not excited about it, that's fine. But let's just wait on that. Okay? One thing I was predicting for this show is because they had talked about a smoke show going on during Rebellion, and then they made they made the match for Scarlett Bordeaux. So I was kind of assuming a live smoke show, her coming out to the ring and introducing Rob Van Dam. That didn't happen. He was nowhere around this show. So we'll have to wait for the next set of tapings, which starts tomorrow night. They'll probably do 2 shows from Canada, and then they're going to, this coming weekend, probably do about a month's worth of tapings from the 2300 arena, and that should be very interesting. Yeah. What is Impact Plus going to be like? Let's talk about that for a minute. I wrote it down here. They did a promo for Impact Plus. I'm guessing they're changing it looks like the name, possibly the design of the site of, oh, excuse me. Just water here, folks, I swear. Not cracking any cold ones tonight. The Global Force Network. And I am on it. I do pay for it, but I don't watch it as often as I should. I watched the explosion. I was hoping by this point that they'd be throwing the pay-per-views on there, but I don't think it's gaining that much steam. So now we have Impact Plus. It looks like it's going to be all the same stuff, but it looks like they're also going to be doing more possibly live house shows, like not the tapings, but these house shows that they're doing, like Code Red, that they're doing with House of Glory coming up within the next week or so. Um, that might be live. I think that's what it sounds like. That might be the first one. So we'll see. Um, I have no clue. I have no clue how much this is going to cost. I'm guessing it's same price. I can't imagine it'd be any more. I can't imagine because they're not putting enough like new stuff on there, you know. Humble Beast says, I read that they're getting rid of the GWN app and using the Steam to take its place. Okay. Interesting. Uh-oh. What did I miss here? Someone just sent me a link. Brian Cage has just been rushed to the emergency room after his match with John Morrison. More updates to come. Oh goodness, that's not good. Yeah, you know what? I said this during his match. He looked off. I don't know why. He just looked, because if you looked during the match, you know, and I know that the wrestlers talk to each other throughout the match. You get a rest hold, you talk about whatever upcoming moves you're going to do to each other. I get that. But in this match, they seem to be communicating like more than usual. You know what I mean? Um, and that made me wonder if Cage was even going to win then. If he was feeling off, or like he was, or like he injured himself, um, that they would call it on the fly and be like, I'm not winning this, I'm not ready, or something like that. You know, it's happened, you know, not a lot, but it happens. Paul Nelson says, I see a run for Tessa like Goldberg in the near future. That's a very interesting opinion. We'll have to see. Duke Togo says, those rascals are going to be something, whether they continue working as a unit, a unit, or have individual runs. I think they're going to stay together for a while. Demon Rock says J Impact are not going to be Twitch shows anymore. They're going to be on Fight. Oh, okay. I have not heard that one. Are you talking about like the weekly shows? Well, we'll see. I try to stay up on that stuff. I have not heard that. And I'm sure we're going to hear even more stuff in the weeks to come, because it sounds like the company's evolving even more now. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, they're not going to be doing Twitch live shows. Okay. Paul Nelson says, pray for Cage, everyone. Yeah, if you're a praying person, obviously we don't want anything bad to happen to these guys. So if you are a praying individual, by all means, if you want to, say a little prayer for Brian Cage and hope that this is, you know, that he, whatever's wrong with him, that he's okay. So, All right. What's next here? We talked about that. We talked about that. Let's talk about the six way. This was, in my opinion, match of the evening next to the main event. The main event was pretty awesome. Okay. But these guys seriously tore the house down. Moose and the North collective of Ethan Page and Josh Alexander making their pay per view debut together. Um, I say together because Ethan Page was on another one recently, but Josh Alexander at least making his debut against the Rascals, Trey, Dez, and Wentz. And I like the fact that they give them the little nicknames. I don't think that's so. Oh, that's ripping off WWE with the little names that they cut up. No, that's not. Stop. I think it's just like a hip thing that the kids are doing. Critical Sting says the North kicks ass, plain and simple. And they did in this match. Oh my goodness. They really did. I don't think there was another match tonight where bodies were legit flying all over the place tonight more than this match, especially with the Rascals. The Rascals were absolutely effing ridiculous. And for a while, I actually did think that they were going to win this, considering the amount of offense they were putting in here. We saw some of the vintage Rascals. No, I hate that. But some of the combo moves between Wentz and Dez. Where Wentz jumps up and Dez, shoves him onto another guy. And they did that off the ramp. That was one of the more impressive moves. And then Dez just using his body as a flipping cannonball into a pile of bodies was just absolutely sick. Oh, speaking into a crowd, I missed talking about this. The opening match, the six-way, I felt like the best move of the whole match, and they played this a couple times, was Jake Christ with the cutter to Ace Austin into a pile of bodies. That was just insane. I love Jake Christ. The guy is so underrated. and absolutely shocked that Sammy didn't win the X Division Championship tonight. I think Jake should get a shot. Absolutely. Because that guy does some just ridiculous things. Better spiral tap final flat. Dez or AJ Styles? Oh, I don't know. The Rascals hit the finisher off the ramp when Wentz jumps into the air and Dez shoves him away. Yeah, I love that move. Crazy. Ruben, welcome to the chat. This is a name I am not familiar with, and I'm not going to say your last name because I don't want to screw it up. When is RVD coming back to Impact Wrestling? Watch this coming week's episode. Professor J, what would you rate tonight's show? I would say out of 10, I'll say 8. It was pretty damn complete. The championship match felt a little off, and I think that's because of things that were going on with Cage. But I'm not going to say the match was crap because of that. It's just the chemistry between the two just felt like there was something wrong. You know what I mean? And at the end, especially when Brian Cage tried to do the drill claw, that looked more like just a regular body slam. Like he was absolutely he was done. He couldn't do anymore. Um, so yeah, I mean, he really looked beat up. I felt like besides the off moments, the rest of the match was decent, And then Michael Elgin showed up, which I think for a moment made people forget about the match. um, you know, and I don't want to overthink now what could be in the future for uh Johnny Impact, even though we did see him with, other people like I talked about earlier. I don't know what his contract status is at all. But yeah, I'd say like at least a 7 or 8. It was a damn good show. The action throughout was absolutely insane. Everyone, and that's the thing. Everyone, no matter who's wrestling, what match, these guys put in 110%. And I'm not saying that people on other brands that you watch don't, but that if you skip a match during one of these Impact, shows, you are going to miss something. Yeah, I was wondering where Cross was. Was Cross in the AAA show tonight? I saw him post something about the Real Devil of Monterey, and I was like, "Oh, is he bringing that to Impact tonight?" Not even thinking that he'd be at a AAA show. I didn't know about the AAA show. Interesting. Tessa versus Jordan and Taya versus Rosemary. Oh yeah, we're gonna see that. In fact, didn't we already see Rosemary versus Taya? No, maybe not. I thought that was like a year ago we saw something like that. Like right before Rosemary went away, I thought we saw that. Ruben says the only wrestling I like is AAA wrestling and Impact Wrestling. WWE sucks. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I've gotten back into wrestling, watching WWE lately. Um, I feel like the company has really changed a lot within the last few months, which makes me curious again, especially with guys like Aleister Black, Ricochet, Strickland's in the company now. So there's certain people that I'm really watching. Not everything of it appeals to me, but I have been watching more. I'm watching just Impact, WWE. I'm keeping up on AEW stuff, some MLW. I'm covering a lot of little things. So Impact guys give their best and they deserve a better channel. Hopefully, someone gives them a chance. I think you mean like um, TV, like a TV deal. I'm assuming that's what you mean. And yes, I agree. Them damn typos. What? Everyone's having typos today. Taya had visa issues. She did in the past, yeah. When is Impact going to give Moose the belt? Where do you see Sammy going from here? Moose, oh gosh, with this win, I feel like this win for Moose with the North is a very significant win. Um, I don't know if it's going to lead to anything, but I feel like it was a really big win. And I think it put the exclamation point on this feud. But I also want to see a separate tag match of the North versus Dez and Wentz. We'll probably get that at the tapings. That's a guess. You know, rubber match, if you call it, I guess. I don't know. So, I mean, obviously the Rascals are going to want some revenge. So I don't see this going on forever, but maybe it'll go on for another few weeks. And maybe they'll wrap this up at the next smaller pay-per-view. So, but yeah, I'd love to see. It's just nice to see fresh tag teams in this division between the Deaners, the North. Um, you know, that's never a bad thing. Moose has been tremendous. He is a star. Um, I didn't feel like he was ready before when he lost to Austin Aries. I feel like within the next year, he absolutely will be Impact Wrestling champion and could pull it off well. I would love to see that. I love him as a heel because before it was just, yay, Moose, Moose. I wasn't, I was always impressed by him, but I was never like, oh my God, he's like my favorite guy in the world. I can't wait to see what he does next. I was just like, okay, he's what else you got? But he also came in at a very. I'm sorry, I'm like distracted by these slivers in my finger. Where the hell did these come from? These suckers like hurt like a bitch. Ah. All right, we'll leave that alone. We'll deal with that later. We continue. Um, but yeah, love to see more from Moose in the future. We talked about Ty and Jordan. And by the way, welcome back, Melissa Santos. I did write a note here saying that Melissa Santos is back. So she must be feeling decent enough that she could do some backstage stuff. Tremendous to see. All right. Blood Rain is sharing another link here. Let's check this out real quick. Holy shit. Tonight, AAA fell into darkness for people I see not. I simply hear collections of noise. Sometimes they scream, others they cannot. Their existence is nothing more to me than static interference. I now walk among you. Diablo de Monterrey. Holy shit, that picture is terrifying. Oh my God. That's crazy. Do I have. Oh, I don't think I've got the ability to do that on here. I was looking for the share a screen thing on here. I don't think I have that on this version. There's some things I like about this just jump in and go live YouTube. There's some things I don't. If I don't have like the full control room, and not that I've never used it much, but I was going to try to share the screen, but you can go to Killer Cross's page and go check this out. He's got white face paint with black around his eyes, around his mouth. His eyes are rolled back in his head. It looks absolutely effing terrifying. So that's where he was tonight, folks. He was playing the devil of Monterrey down in El Mexico. That's all right. I'm sure he'll be back. Uno momento, por favor. So yeah, X Division match between Sammy Callahan and Rich Swann. That was sick. And that's the only one that I guessed wrong. I did not expect to see Rich Swann retain here. But I mean, I was the way the match went, I was happy with it, but I was shocked. And let me know by all means what you felt with this match too. I felt this was also one of the dark horse matches of the evening. Cross really lives that life. Cross is one of the most interesting human beings wrestling, wrestlers that I've ever seen. I mean, he really is different, isn't he? Critical Sting, Psycho Swan, clap, clap, clap. Yeah. Man, and did they swap the spit tonight? That was, not in a gay way. That was crazy. They spit on each other just like it was just a ridiculous amount of spit. It was Loogie Mania up in Canada. Um, Eugene Evans says Cross deserves a title run. Yeah, give it time. Give it time. I've been waiting for a couple years now for him to be on weekly television and involved in wrestling. So he's in Impact now. Give it time. Let's not jump the gun. I'm sure. I'm sure Impact Wrestling knows um, what they have as far as how special he is. I'm sure they know. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him in and have done what they've done with him so far. They've really given him a lot of freedom too, which is pretty tremendous. Critical Sting says Sammy just has a habit of turning the nicest people into psychotic maniacs. Yeah, you know what? That's a very good point. Look at what happened to Swan. Look at what happened to Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards used to be, white bread Eddie Edwards, and not necessarily boring, but not a ton of charisma, but still incredible in ring talent. Now he's just this crazy guy that walks around going, and I dig Eddie Edwards. I really do. I like the fact that he has put everything he can into this new Eddie over the course of this last year, which has been just over a year now. Almost a year and a half since he went crazy from that baseball incident or baseball bat incident, excuse me. Also, Sammy is returning to form with the hair and everything. He's growing his hair back. Yeah, I mean, he's got kind of a weird mullet mohawk thing going on. I could do it too, except I would have like 3 hairs right here, and then the rest of it would start way the hell back here. So it wouldn't be that great to just have like a square of hair in the back of my head. That would look pretty stupid. We should have seen Sammy walk out with the belt maybe on July 7th. Yes, Cross loves his metal blood rain. Absolutely. He likes some dark stuff too. Yeah. Bosley. Oh gosh. It's your hair. If I had $20,000, I don't think they could do much with this. It'd be like, well, let's pull out some chest hair and stick it on your head. And I'd be like, great, let's do it. Blood Rain says, metal is awesome. Yeah, we love metal. J Bone loves all sorts of music, but yes, we love the metal. They'll give you a fro. Could you imagine? That'd be crazy. Oh my goodness. It would be unbeweavable. Weave. Try the pork. I'll be here all week. What do you think of Manson? Oh boy, that's another subject for another time. I actually did just watch some specials on. Are you talking about Charlie Manson or Marilyn Manson? Big difference there. I was watching specials on Charlie Manson recently. Fascinating individual, scary as hell. All right, back to this. Let's not get sidetracked too much here. But yeah, that match between Sammy, I am honestly shocked that Sammy didn't win. I think Sammy, for what he's done for this company, I'm not going to say Sammy put this company on a map. I think that's a team effort. But I think he's been a very important individual in the history of Impact Wrestling over the course of his last 2 years with the company. Marilyn Manson? Okay. Yeah, they're okay. I like some of their stuff. Sammy's heights are set far higher than X Division. Yeah, I mean, he said it in one of his press passes. And I asked the question, and it was a question that was actually read to him, which I thought was cool. That was actually, it was about a year ago. Um, I said something about him wanting to be champ someday, and he was like, "Hell yeah, I want to be champ someday." I think he should be. I think he's got, and honestly, you know what? It's OVE, it's Sammy Callahan. I don't care how he does it. I'm a little surprised he didn't have his crew come in and like tie down Rich Swann and just bury him in a pile of debris and pin him that way. I'd have been good with it. I'd have been like, hell yeah, Sammy won. I don't care how you do it. And it's nothing against Rich Swann. Rich Swann is tremendous. And I love the shaved look too. It's sexy. Don't even recognize the guy. Looks like Pope is pimping. OVE couldn't interfere? Really? Or they'd be fired? I did not hear that one. Because as soon as I saw um, um, Madman Fulton, wow, almost forgot his name. As soon as I saw Madman Fulton, him come out on his shoulders, which is tremendous. Please keep doing that because it looks like $1,000,000. Um, reminds me of the little guy coming out on the shoulders of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Um, who runs Buttertown? um, brain fart. Damn. But yeah, I thought that they would absolutely help him win. I did not hear about the stipulation. Paul Nelson says he loved the ending where everyone came out. Yeah, that was cool. I felt that was, I felt this was another big step forward for Impact Wrestling. Everyone involved put in 1,000%, and a lot of the back room came out to congratulate him. Job well done. The tag team guys, the tag team division shine tonight. Absolutely shine. You know. So yeah, wrapping it up. We talked about Brian Cage and Johnny Impact a little bit. We talked about Big Mike. Let's talk about Full Metal Mayhem, and then we'll wrap this puppy up. We just went over an hour. Blood Rain says, I don't think any heels came out. I'd have to go back and look at it. I remember the Rascals came out. Some of the knockouts came out. I believe Gail Kim came out, I think. And then Taylor Wilde, who I didn't recognize. Scarlett Bordeaux came out. I'd have to look at it all again. But yeah, Full Metal Mayhem. Man, there were some people absolutely losing their minds during this match, screaming, we want ladders, we want tables. They used like a ridiculous amount of chairs, and I feel like some of the chair moves started to become a little, okay, what else can you do? And they obviously saved the big table and ladder spot for the end, which is kind of a thing that they've done before, which is fine. We've seen that before between LAX and I think it was OVE, where they took all the spikes and tapped him in his head and then finished the match. I think it was something like that. Says no, Paul, the faces came out. Picasso says, I think Lucha Brothers are leaving Impact. Well, they're not under contract with anyone. That's the thing. They have an open relationship with everyone that they are currently working in, whether it be the Indies, whether it be AEW, whether it be Impact Wrestling or AAA. or CMLL, they are not tied down to anyone, which is tremendous. I mean, that makes their names huge, absolutely huge. I'm sure at some point they will be locked into contracts with AEW I'd say within the next year, because I think they're still under those contracts with Lucha Underground and that whole Entertainment the Hollywood contract. Um, but I don't know when those are done. I think I've heard 2020, but don't quote me on that. So it's going to be a bit. Taylor Wilde was the woman who beat Kong for the title. Wow, that's an interesting point. I completely forgot about that. Thank you, Dustin Rock, Demon Rocks, Dustin Rocks, Demon Hall, whatever you want to. And MLW. Thank you. I didn't mention that one. Lucha Brothers will work Impact, AEW, and MLW. Yeah, and it's just a great sign of seeing more companies work together. They have contracts with Lucha Underground. Yeah, and it's just because it's their Hollywood contracts, the same ones that Evilise was locked into, same one that Joey Ryan was locked into, that they got released from. Same thing. Pentagon enjoys Impact a lot. Says he will stay as long as the fans want him there. Hey, that's great. That's great. That's one thing we don't hear many English interviews from Pentagon. Phoenix, we hear a little, none from Pentagon. Look at Penta's profile picture on his social medias. Says enough for me. Okay, I'll look at it. Blood Rain says, I don't think Lucha Underground is dead. Yeah, I don't want it to be either, but the more time ticks on, it's not looking good. I'll say that much. Paul Nelson says, I was hoping John Good, aka Dean, was there. Yeah, you know what? I kind of was wondering about that too. John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose. He is officially done with the WWE. I was kind of, and that's something I was kind of joking about in the back of my head. I was like, wow, wouldn't it be funny if John Moxley came out and helped Sami Callihan win the X Division Championship? I think the roof would have blown off the place. I think that'd have been crazy. Just about as crazy as CM Punk showing up in Milwaukee for an independent show. And oh wait, that actually happened. Demon Rock says 90 days. No, sir, there is no 90 days. And that's been confirmed. There are rumors for a few months back AEW might make Lucha Bros exclusive only in the US. Maybe. Demon Rock says, what? Yes. Dean Ambrose not signing, letting his contract expire. There is no 90-day extension for him. And I think that's optional too. A lot of people take it because they don't know what their next step is. So they want that 3-month, thing. Dino didn't take it. That was confirmed months ago. Yeah. So we'll see. And he is the most unpredictable guy in professional wrestling right now. Period. End of subject. It's a fact because there's no social media. No one's talking about him. We are literally going to have to wait until he gets booked and a poster gets put out someplace by a company that says, hey, guess what? Dean is showing up here on this date at this time, or he walks through the curtains at some show. My guess it will be in Vegas a month from now, but we'll have to wait and see. 90 days only happens if you get released. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Never say never. He just might pop up. Yeah, he can pop up anywhere. He's going to pull a Pac and show up in Japan? I don't know. Hey, you never know, right? When Sammy left, he rejected the 90 days and worked immediately. Yeah, I think, yeah, I think you're right. I think I did hear about that. Yeah. Demon Rock says he is showing up at Double or Nothing. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, he is not your average wrestler, to be honest. He's done a lot of crazy. He's done a lot of crazy shit. Okay, let's be honest. So if he needs a break and he takes a break off a year and then shows up somewhere else, so be it. I'll still be a fan. Hell, I still want CM Punk to come back, but I don't talk about it all the time. You know, I just keep my hopes up. We'll see. So, but yeah, Full Metal Mayhem, absolutely insane. These guys broke tables, did the tax thing at the end. I predicted LAX was going to get the championships back. We have 4-time champs. Tremendous. Overall, very solid show. Very solid show. Very happy with it. So, yeah, we're going to get out of here. We talked about this enough. And, but yeah, by all means, if you're watching this after the fact, let me know what you thought about this card, the results, Michael Elgin, everything. Let me know what you thought, and let me know what number rating you would give this out of 10 or whatever. So that's it for this one. Like I said, folks, don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. We'll be back in another night or two. We'll still got a lot of catch up on MLW. We'll get that done soon, and we'll see what else comes down the road for J-Bone and Smash this podcast. Good night, folks. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Much love.